It's Friday, everybody. Can you feel it? The president could feel it today as he stepped out to talk about the new jobs numbers. They're in, and they're kind of mediocre. But that's okay. The president's going to fire up the crowd anyway.
The evidence that we've seen during the course of this summer and over the course of the last 18 months indicate that we're moving in the right direction. We just have to speed it up.
Wow, that was inspiring. Okay, what's the point of doing a press conference if you're not going to say anything? Now, to be fair, the president has recently been challenging the Republicans a little bit.
Once again, I'm calling on Congress to make passing a small business jobs bill its first order of business, Congress's first order of business when it gets back, the first business out of the gate. And the Senate Republican leadership needs to stop its efforts to block it.
Okay, not exactly eye of the tiger, but at least he's right to emphasize that issue. Here's what I would have said instead. Look, as we head into the Labor Day, I'd like to ask, why do Republicans want to keep unemployment really high? Why don't they want to help small businesses? Why in the world would they be against this bill? Can someone, maybe some of you in the press here, ask them? Because I don't understand why they want to hurt our economy. Now, look, if the president had said that, you know what that would have created? A national conversation about what the Republicans have done to hurt this economy rather than what the Democrats have done. But this president is way too timid for that. He doesn't even want to call the next stimulus package stimulus because the Republicans would beat him up for that. My God, man, the CBO says the stimulus worked. It created over 3 million jobs. Why don't you take credit for it instead of running from it? But when you look at the new numbers out today, the jobless rate ticked up for the first time in 4 months, partly because of more people coming back into the labor force looking for work. So-called real unemployment is also up 16.7% in August. So where do we stand overall? Let's look at our jobs gauge here. If we really want to make a dent in the unemployment rate, to get it back to what was considered a normal level of about 6% by 2013, the private sector must create 335,000 jobs each month. And in August, well, we sputtered along. The private sector gained 67,000 jobs, but that number is obviously well short of where we need to be. So what gives? If the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the stimulus created more jobs, but we're still way behind where we want to be, what's the answer? Did the Obama administration do something else wrong? I think the answer is yes. They mistook a structural problem for a temporary problem. They thought we had a crisis of confidence, and that if they could just make the markets and the American people feel confident that the economy would improve, that they'd go back to spending and everything would be all right. But that's wrong, because we don't have any more money to spend. Partly because a lot of us don't have jobs anymore. Look, this is a much deeper structural problem than the Obama administration is willing to accept. And that is their number one problem, and that is why we haven't had that recovery yet.